Hello, my name is Celeste and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about how I teach the word a and an in my online teaching classroom. If this is your first time clicking on one of my videos, welcome. I hope that you'll take the time to subscribe and like and click that notification bell so that you are notified of other videos that I do. I do kind of a myriad of different things about my life. Mostly all my videos are on online teaching. I absolutely love that. I've been doing it for over 2 years now. And then I also do things on how I save money because as an entrepreneur and just getting started in this new lifestyle, I'm learning how to save money, save our budget so that we're able to build up emergency funds and purchase things that we absolutely need. And then lastly, I share videos on my favorite hobby, which is sewing. So I hope that you'll take the time to subscribe so that you'll be notified of those videos. So let's get started with our topic for today, how I teach the word a and an and when to use them in English. Now, this can be when I was a brick and mortar teacher, this was a difficult concept for even my native speakers. And so through a little bit of trial and error in my online teaching classroom, I have developed this visual way that has helped my students know the differences of when to use them. So the first time that we go through this, I'm going to show you how I do it for my upper level students, those that have been taking online English classes for a while and who have more proficiency in their English and just forget when to use those two words. So the way that I do it is very simple. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I do not spend a lot of money on props for my classroom. And so I simply use my whiteboard and my dry erase markers. So this again is for my upper level students. So we'll stop during class when I've heard many of them, or in my one-on-one classes, them continuing to use maybe A for like apple or a apple. And we'll say, remember, we will use an for words that begin with A, E, I, O, U. Then I continue the exercise and ask them to think of a word that starts with the sound A or and most of them will automatically think of apple. So I write the word apple down. Then I'll ask them to think of a word that begins with an E sound or an sound. And most of them think of elephant. So I will write down elephant. Then we'll go through the I or the sound and we'll do igloo. The O, many of them think of octopus. So I'll write this word down. And then lastly the U, and then we'll write down umbrella. So we'll practice. Again, we use an with words that begin with A, E, I, O, U. And then we'll look at our passage or the fill in the blank from our lesson and see if any of those words begin with A, E, I, or O, or U, and if they need to use the word an. Then I continue this with my upper level students to remind them that we use A with words that are consonants. Now, depending on the level, I may use the word consonant, but for most of my initial students, maybe the first time that I've met them, I'll just give them examples of we use the word A in front of words that say have B, C, D, F, G, T, Z, and then again we'll think of words that begin with B. So A, and most of them think of boy, and then A, they think of cat. A, most of them think of the word dog. T, for most of my Chinese students, tiger is a very popular word to think of the T. Z, they think mostly of zebra. So we'll just remind them we use the word A in front of words that begin with the consonant B, C, D, T, Z as examples. Now let's switch to my younger students, those who have limited time on an online teaching platform or are just beginning to learn English, maybe have not been online for very long. So I already have this printed out for them. And I'll say, remember, we use "and" with words that start with A, E, I, O, U, and then we'll have repeat, "an apple." Great job. "An elephant." Very good, and we'll continue that through. I will have these up during class, so when they make a mistake, which is often very common in an early language learner, I will hold that up and remind them, oh, that word begins with the letter E. We need to say "an." Now, this has been successful in my classes for most of my students. Most of them are understanding that. And when I have that student over and over again, this is helpful, a visual reminder for them. And they're able then to discern when to use the word "a" before a word and "an." Also, it helps the parents who try to correct. Sometimes our wonderful parents will say "a apple." And then when I show them it's "an apple," then they understand there is a difference between those two words. So I hope this tip is helpful to you in your online teaching class as you're teaching English to our students in China, Korea, Japan, wherever your ESL students may be living, or even here in America or North America. And if you're not teaching online, I would love to invite you to use my referral codes to get started. I've also included my email address. Please feel free to ask me any questions about the two companies that I work for. I absolutely love teaching online, and I would be honored to coach you through that process. So until next time, happy teaching and stay well.